Title: I just think this dude is so goddamn good. Zach Lowe predicts Victor Wembanyama's Spurs to win 43-plus games despite flawed roster. Opening hook, midnight to 0:30. When Zach Lowe speaks, the NBA listens. The ESPN analyst, known for his deep dives and measured takes, just made a bold prediction about Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. Despite the team's unpolished roster and questions about fit, Lowe believes the Spurs are heading for a breakout season. His reason? Wemby's sheer brilliance. And as he put it himself, I just think this dude is so goddamn good. Key paragraph, as requested. I just think this dude is so goddamn good. Zach Lowe predicts Victor Wembanyama's Spurs to win over 43 games despite shaky roster construction. Setting the stage, 0:30 to 1:30. The San Antonio Spurs entered the 2025-26 NBA season surrounded by uncertainty. After years of rebuilding and experimenting with young talent, fans and analysts alike wondered whether Greg Popovich's squad was ready to take a real step forward. With an unproven backcoat, a developing supporting cast, and rotation questions everywhere, optimism was hard to justify. But then came Zach Lowe's prediction, a bold one that instantly reignited hope in San Antonio. Zach Lowe's confidence in Wemby, 1:30 to 3 o'clock. Zach Lowe isn't one to throw around superlatives lightly. Known for his analytical breakdowns and cautious forecasting, Lowe rarely uses language as strong as this. But his admiration for Wembanyama has grown steadily since the French phenom's rookie debut. Lowe's point was simple: sometimes, a player's talent transcends traditional logic. You can nitpick the Spurs roster all you want, Lowe said, but if Wembanyama is as dominant as I think he'll be, 43 wins isn't crazy, it's actually conservative. That statement reflects something deeper, an understanding that Wemby isn't just another rising star. He's already redefining how basketball is played on both ends of the floor. Wembanyama's leap year, 3 to 5 o'clock. Let's talk numbers and impact. Last season, Wemby finished as one of the league leaders in blocks, contested shots, and points per possession in isolation defense. Offensively, he showcased a mix of guard-like ball handling and rim-protecting dominance we've never seen from a player his size. This offseason, reports suggest his added strength and improved balance, key components to surviving an 82-game grind. Lowe's projection of 43-plus wins isn't based on hype, it's based on trajectory. If Wemby even modestly improves as a scorer and continues anchoring one of the NBA's most underrated defenses, the Spurs could easily surprise teams not ready for his evolution. The roster question, 5 to 6:30. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the Spurs roster. On paper, it's far from elite. The guard rotation remains inconsistent, the spacing isn't perfect, and the second unit has growing pains. Yet, Lowe's take acknowledges something often overlooked in these discussions: generational players elevate chaos. Think back to early LeBron in Cleveland, Luka Doncic in Dallas, or even Tim Duncan's rookie impact on San Antonio. When a player's IQ and skill set are that advanced, the supporting cast naturally benefits. Wembanyama's presence draws double teams, alters defensive strategies, and creates open shots for everyone around him. That's how average teams quietly become playoff threats. Popovich's role in the equation, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Of course, none of this works without Greg Popovich. Even in his late 70s, Pop remains a master at maximizing potential. His ability to develop young players and build systems around unique talents has defined his career. Lowe highlighted this too, noting that Pop's understanding of spacing, tempo, and defensive structure could help Wemby thrive without forcing him into unnatural roles. Expect Pop to simplify things: more pick-and-roll action featuring Wemby, increased ball movement to counter double teams, and defensive schemes designed around his 8-foot wingspan. If Pop nails the balance between freedom and structure, 43 wins could actually be on the low end. Why 43 wins is bold, but believable, 8 to 9:30. For context, 43 wins would likely land the Spurs near the play-in or even the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Considering last year's total and the youth of the roster, that's a massive leap. But Lowe's logic holds up. Wembanyama is already a top 10 defender in the league. Add a little offensive growth, say, a 25-point-per-game average, and you suddenly have a player capable of swinging 10 to 15 wins on his own. And if the role players, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan, Trey Jones, or whoever steps up, find consistency, the Spurs' floor raises dramatically. Basketball is still a team game, but Lowe's take underscores one truth: when you have a generational anchor, your margin for error widens. The analytics behind the take, 9:30 to 11 o'clock. Lowe's analytical model often blends advanced metrics like estimated plus-minus, EPM, on-off impact, and team shooting variance. According to projections, Wembanyama ranked among the league's elite in defensive EPM as a rookie. That kind of statistical foundation is rare for a 20-year-old. If he adds modest efficiency offensively, say, bumping his field goal percentage from 46% to 49% and his three-point shooting closer to league average, he could post an MVP-caliber impact rating. That's the underlying math behind Lowe's confidence. You don't need perfect teammates when one player bends the geometry of the game. Comparing to other superstars' year 2 jumps, 11 to 12-30. Historically, greats make their biggest leap between year 1 and year 2. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, all took massive strides as sophomores. Lowe believes Wemby is following the same pattern. With a year of NBA conditioning, familiarity with opposing schemes, and a coach who trusts him, Wemby could evolve from incredible rookie to unanswerable problem. That's why 43 wins isn't just optimism, it's precedent. We've seen transcendent players turn developmental years into winning ones faster than logic predicts. The critics and counter-arguments, 12:30 to 2 p.m. Of course, not everyone's buying it. Skeptics argue the Spurs still lack a true point guard, their spacing will limit Wemby's offensive ceiling, and the Western Conference remains brutally competitive. Those are valid concerns. But Lowe's rebuttal is that greatness has its own gravitational pull. Wemby doesn't need the perfect supporting cast to dominate, he just needs competence around him. If the Spurs shoot league average from 3 and maintain their defensive identity, they'll naturally fall into that mid-40s win range. That's not hype, that's growth through stability and superstar impact. Why fans should be excited, 14 to 15-30. Lowe's take isn't just analytical, it's emotional. There's a sense of wonder in how he talks about Wembanyama. The quote, "I just think this dude is so goddamn good," reflects the feeling most fans share when watching Wemby play. His combination of height, coordination, and creativity makes every possession feel like a glimpse into basketball's future. Even if the Spurs fall short of 43 wins, watching Wemby evolve into the league's next great two-way superstar is worth every minute. This prediction might age beautifully, not because of numbers, but because Lowe believes in something special that stats can't fully measure: basketball magic.